Hey, it's Holly, and today's video I thought I would do kind of like a look back on the week that I've had, just so like in the future I can look back on it because it's been a pretty good week, so I'm going to tell you about it now, so let's go. So I'm going to start off with Monday, and Monday was the day that I got an opportunity to go down to Radio Wave, which is like the Blackpool area. It's the local like radio station, and it's like I basically pass it every morning when I go to college. Because it's like on the way, it's like there's a long road that I have to go down, and it's like on there, sort of like near a industrial site type thing. So that was really fun experience, and it was basically last minute as well. Because I do drama, and my teacher had told me about this. He'd like emailed saying, "Oh, there's a chance for some like drama students to like join in with this like opportunity at Radio Wave." So I thought, why not? May as well just go for it. If I don't enjoy it, then doesn't matter, I don't have to do it again. And if I do enjoy it, it could be like a future career option that I could go with. So the day started, and I had to meet at college, and I was like meeting everyone else who was in my team, and most of them were media students, so I didn't really know them that much. But yeah, I got to know them. So there was 6 of us in the team, and then there was another 6 in another team, so there's just 2 teams that went, so about 12 people went. And the first half of the day we were just like gathered round the table, and we had one of the people from Radio Wave helping us out, and the task was to create a commercial or like an advert that you'd hear on the radio. Our idea was that we would have like going through the stages of school years, because it was to do with schools. So you'd have like 5 different kind of school years from primary school right up to university, and then going through them there'd be like a child of that age saying like a sentence that they think their teacher is. So for example, someone in college might say that their teacher has inspired them to like push on and be more creative and things. So we kind of had like a sentence for each of those years, like 5 of them all together. And then we had just a little paragraph at the end explaining what the job role would be, because it was to do with like getting more teachers, like for all the different like high school, primary school, university, just for people to apply, and like if they want to become a teacher then they can do through this advert. So that was kind of basically the gist of our advert, and then we would have put on like if there's any other sound effects or background music, but we've not actually heard anything of it because it's not actually been made into one yet that we know of anyway. So if it does, then we might be able to hear it and it'll be really cool, but for now it's just on paper basically. The second half of the day after lunch, we actually got to go into one of the radio recording room type things. So we've like gone upstairs, and then we were working with like 2 of the presenters of Radio Wave that are like professionals or whatever. So we split it off into 2 like groups in our 6. So there was me, Miles and Andy. Me and Miles were the presenters, and Andy was like the producer, so he was like making sure everything would go on track, and if the time was running out he'd tell us to like hurry up and stuff. So then me and Miles got to go on the microphone, and it was so weird because when you wear the headphones you can hear yourself talking as you're talking, so it's like really weird. It's like an echo, but it's as you're saying it, so you're like saying things right, and I'm like, but it was really fun to do, and we had like little stories, and we kind of like made up a bit of a script and stuff, so we knew what we were saying. And then the other 3 people, Amelia, Joe and Billy, they went off with one of the other presenters, and they were like doing the news, the weather and the sport. So then they would come back, they would have their little segment. So then just before we were about to actually record it, it wasn't a live like show or anything, but we did a full 30-minute show as if it was live. So we didn't stop, we didn't like go back to the beginning, we just carried on. Even if it went wrong, we just had to carry on as if it was a live show. So then we all came together, me and Miles had a bit more practicing of what we were going to say, and then it was time for the actual real recording. I was quite nervous for it, but it was like really good. I really enjoyed it. And as well, we like played a bit of music, so in between them have a little bit of a breather and like gather what we were going to say next. And then also we got the others involved as well, like so if we like asked a question, we'd sort of like throw it to them. And it was funny at one point because we'd sort of like gone a bit faster than the schedule was sort of like telling us to, and so we had time for another like little story. So like literally on the spot we had to sort of find one, like during a couple of the songs we had to just find a story, quickly go through it and add it in like as we were recording. So then that was like funny. I think it went alright considering it was just like thrown on us like that. Obviously it could have gone better, but that would just take more time and rehearsal. And obviously we only had maybe like an hour or so to prepare for the whole thing, not even that. So it was pretty good that we had not much time to prepare. And then also at that time we were told to get the others involved, so like one of the microphones was over to them and we'd like asked a question about that topic, and they were sort of like put on the spot as well. They hadn't prepared to say anything, and then like Joe, he sort of like, he was to the mic first and he's sort of like and he was just like going to the mic to quickly, he's like but I think he covered it up quite well, like considering he literally had no idea what he was going to say, and he sort of like brought it back, so that was pretty good. So overall I think that day was pretty cool. I really enjoyed being at the radio station, and it was an opportunity that I'm really glad that I took, because now I might even be able to consider having that as a career path as well for the future. So now moving on to Tuesday. This is where I had my job interview for the Pleasure Beach. So I went down in the morning. I think I was like the first one there, because like I'd had an experience before, like previously, when I'd missed my job interview by like 2 minutes. So I'd got there and I was too late to go in, so I didn't want that to happen again, so I made sure that I was like early. I think I ended up being like 15 minutes early, but that's good. So I went through, waited in the canteen for everyone else, and then met up with like a load of people. I think there was about 16 people maybe that were interviewing for this job. I'm not sure how many positions there were, but there must have been a few, because at the Pleasure Beach they're like sort of starting to hire people again for the start of the season in March. So the day consisted of a few group activities, like sort of going around the circle, getting to know everyone, and just sort of like playing a few games to sort of like learn everyone's names and things like that, and just sort of break the ice. One of the tasks was that we had to pick an item from the back of the room. There was like a load of random things on the table. We had to go up and pick one, and then we had to just like spend maybe like 10-15 minutes or so just like sort of writing out a script. Not a script, but like writing out some points that we would say, because then once that time was up we had to get up individually in front of everyone and do a presentation on how we would sell that object. The 3 people that were doing the interview, they were like sort of the dragons, as if it was like Dragon's Den, the programme, so that was really cool. So my item was building blocks, and I had to just like stand up in front of everyone and like basically sell it to them, saying like what the price would be, who it's for, how it would sell, what it's used for, just things like that. Oh, and sorry if the camera angle looks a bit different, because my camera just like died, so I had to sort of reset it, and it probably won't look exactly the same as it was before, but yeah. So I was actually a little bit nervous about that task, but it turned out really well, so I was happy about that. The next test we had was in groups of 4, so we had to design and create our own roller coaster. So we had like a big piece of paper and like bits of paper to sort of like write things down on. So we had to like draw out what the roller coaster would be. We had to think of the theme, what type of roller coaster it would be. We had to put on where pictures would be taken, because the job that I was applying for is for Pixolve, and they're the big company. They're based in theme parks, and they're the ones that like take all the pictures on the rides. So the job is with them, but it's based in the Pleasure Beach. So yeah, we had to put on where the pictures would be taken, and also at the end of the ride where the photo shop would be, or if it was like with gifts as well, like a gift shop where you can buy your photos and everything. So our group came up with a theme of Jurassic World. So we had it of like dinosaurs and like trees and shrubs and things. We'd have like mechanical dinosaurs walking by the ride, loads of like noises, and at the start it would be a launch coaster, so it would like pull you back and then like shoot you off, so you go really fast. And then you'd sort of like go around the corner, and then the first bit you'd come to would be sort of like the nice area where there's like sort of nice dinosaurs, aren't too like scary or anything, and then you like go through there, and as you get in further and further into the ride it starts speeding up, so then you go around another corner, and this is where you come to like the more sort of like intense and scary dinosaur bit. Also there's like dinosaurs that are like flying above you, and then they drop down, obviously not to actually touch you, but it's like they drop down a bit, you think they're gonna land on you, so then like you just go through, and at the end there's like a big massive like T-Rex dinosaur, and then you'd come off the ride, you'd go through the gift shop. There could be like little toy dinosaurs, jumpers, hoodies, t-shirts and things like that you can buy, as well as where you can buy your pictures on like just either the normal picture frame or like key rings or stuff like that. And also the carriage, if you've seen the film Jurassic World, like the new one that came out, we did the carriages that are like them sort of like round bubble type things that like you go through in the movie. So it's like our carriage for the roller coaster would be like that, so it's like you're enclosed inside the clear like bubble thing, and then you go around the track and everything. And also the camera to take the picture will be inside with you, so it's just set off like on a timer to go off at like certain points of the roller coaster, so that way you sort of like it's more of a enjoyable experience, because you're not like with loads of other people, like you don't get loads of others in your photo, it's just in twos, so it's just you two in the picture. So yeah, then we had to create a script of like who was going to say what, so we like sort of split it into four, because there was 4 of us in the group, and then we had to go up in front of everyone else and present it back, what our ideas were and everything like that, so that was really good. The last part of the interview was one-to-one sessions, so we all had to go out of the room, and obviously because there was 3 people interviewing, so like there was 3 in at a time, sort of like asking questions, getting more information about us and stuff, just sort of like getting to know us individually and seeing if we'd be suitable for the job. So then after that, once we'd all had our one-to-ones, we could just go home, and that was the interview done. So I think it was really successful. I think it was a really enjoyable day. There wasn't loads of pressure on us, it was just made really fun and really friendly, so I had a good time there. In the evening I got a phone call from Farah, who was one of the people interviewing, and she was ringing up to say that I got the job, so I was really happy about that. She said I don't start till March, because obviously that's when the season sort of begins, so I have to wait till then to actually start my job, but she said I've definitely got the job, so that's really exciting. So now, after my months and months of trying to get a job, I've actually finally got my first job. So on Wednesday I just had a normal day at college, because obviously I go to college Monday to Friday, but this week was sort of a little bit different. But Wednesday was just a normal timetable day. Thursday and Friday were what we call progress review days at college. So it's 2 days where we're off timetable, and then depending on what your surname is, you either go in on the Thursday or the Friday and like book appointments with all your teachers and just sort of like check on how your progress is and everything. And also we just recently had mock exams, so we were kind of just sort of like talking through them as well for ones that we've had exams for. And I also went in on the Thursday to catch up on some of my textiles work, because we're doing coursework at the moment, and I just needed to like go in and do a few extra hours just to sort of catch up a bit. And then on Friday I was in again because I was doing some more textiles, and I had my appointments on Friday because my surname's Taylor, so I'm sort of like on the second half. So I went to see my teachers and I was really happy with what they had to say. They said that I'm progressing well, I'm at good targets, I have 100% attendance, and it was good because they also gave me a few things to work on, which I'm always like working on, especially my confidence. That's like one of the biggest things that I want to work on. And I think I am starting to get there, and a couple of my teachers said that they'd noticed that I'm sort of starting to get a little bit more confident, but I just sort of like need to keep working on it just to make sure that I'm like more confident. So yeah, that was really good. I was happy with what they had to say. And then on the Friday evening, me, my mum and my sister went out to the pub, just like the pub nearby. It's just recently been refurbished, so it's like got a pizza bar in there now, because it just used to be carvery and like drinks and everything, but now it's got like pizzas and burgers and things like that, so that's really cool. So we went in, and because recently I've gotten my provisional driving licence, so I was able to like have that as my ID and then like go up to the bar for like my first time, because now that I'm 18 obviously I can drink now and like order at the bar and stuff, so that was like my first kind of bar experience. So yeah, that was really good. But it was funny though, because I gave her my ID, and then like obviously because it's got the picture on the date of birth, and obviously it was me, and I had my hair in a ponytail like it was in the picture. I basically looked exactly the same, except I wasn't smiling. But she was like looking at it like dead closely, like, and then because my mum was like just with me as well, because she was getting some stuff, and she was like, it is her, you know. And I was like, oh well, I look dead young, don't I? So I literally don't look 18. Like, I still don't even feel 18. It's good to look younger, because obviously I have my ID, so I can like prove that I am actually 18. So that's good. So that's it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Leave any comments down below. Subscribe for more content from me. That's it. Thanks for watching. See you later. Bye.